Some of you may remember a couple of books that were quite popular and still probably referred to a lot. And one is Be Here Now by Ram Dass, and the other is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So now seems to be pointing to something important that it is on the front of these two books in a central concept. And I want to try to explore this a little bit, and I hope you can make it experiential and not philosophical. Um, because from a point of view of our actual experience, what we actually know to be real, does time exist? Or is it simply a perception or an imposition, an overlay of the mind? Why is the now so important? Now is important because all that is actually real is now. Time is something that the mind uses. It's helpful. It's a useful structure. There's nothing wrong with the perception of time, but it's not reality. Think about eating dinner last night, or if you don't eat dinner, whatever your last meal was. So you can remember that in thoughts. You can remember that in images. There may even be some emotional body sensation content around it. But that's all in the mind. Can you contact last night's dinner directly? Can you contact any aspect of the past not using thinking, what we normally call remembering, but is it there in reality, any aspect of it? It ain't there. It's just thinking. And the thinking is happening when? Is the thinking happening last night? No, the thinking is now. Our experience of the past is only now. Same with the future. Think about tonight's dinner or lunch, whatever. You can have thoughts and words, you can have images, there may be an emotional sensation with this. Maybe it's pleasant, maybe it's unpleasant. But that thought is happening now. Try to contact the future directly, separate from a thought, or separate from thinking or using the mind. You can't. It's only in the present that the future happens. There is no future. There is no past. There's just this. Now, let's go to the present moment, okay? Is the present moment having any kind of duration? In other words, is the present divided up into a sequence of moments or things that have a duration? Is the present like a series of 1 second intervals or millisecond intervals? Does now have a duration? If you look carefully, there is no duration. There's just this. Always just this. You can call it the eternal present, but it's really not a sequence of moments. It is just now. That's all that there is. So the reality is that there is no time. Time is a function of the mind's ability to perceive and organize what's happening. But it's only a function of the mind. There is no time. And this is simply from our experience. This is not a belief system. It's not a philosophical imposition. The imposition is the future is going to happen and the past happened. That's useful. So when we sort of deconstruct our ordinary sense of living in a continuum of past, present, and future, if we want to get to the truth of what's actually happening, really understand what's happening, which is what spirituality and meditation are for, we are pointed towards the now, or just this, or however you want to express it. Being or awareness is only present now. There's no awareness of the past or the future. There's just awareness now of thoughts, which we call memories, or future thoughts, which are only right now. So when you're meditating, trying to achieve some goal in the future, trying to get something, if your meditation becomes future focused, I'm trying to do something, I'm trying to get something, I'm grasping, I'm reaching, I'm acting in some way to get some result, that's all future-oriented meditation. But if the future isn't reality, how can meditation get us to reality when it's oriented towards a thought construct called the future? So this is why the direct path encourages us to just relax into the present, not trying to get something, not trying to create a better future, but simply being here as it is. And any meditation system will include that kind of instruction, even mindfulness, which in some way is a skill-based system, includes an element of equanimity, the core of which is saying, allow things to be exactly how they are right now, not trying to change an aspect of your experience, which brings us into the reality of this, just this, and not striving or trying to create a different this right now. In other words, a better future experience. Maybe the next moment I'll be quieter. Maybe the next moment I'll be clearer. I'm trying to make the next moment better than this moment. That's just mind games. That's not meditation. Meditation brings us into the reality of just this. Does that make sense? That's why it's on the cover of those books and why they're both bestsellers for decades. It takes a whole book to talk about this if you're trying to write a whole book. But Everything that's in those books is in this 10 minutes, sort of. I mean, not really, but really. This is the executive summary version, but I hope you can put it to good use and remember this. We don't have to spend our lives in the past and the future. Spend most of your life right now. Is there stuff that can be gained from thinking about the past and learning from it? Of course. Might actually be helpful for some of the people running the world to pay a little bit more attention to that. What doesn't work that they're still trying to do? And is it useful to think about the future? Of course. Don't go to the supermarket not thinking about the future, right? All you're going to do is buy what you want to eat right now. That you're going to have to go back 3 to 4 times a day. That doesn't make sense. So yes, from a practical point of view, we need to think about the past and the future to a certain extent, but not any more than that. It's not going to make our lives better to dwell, to ruminate, to fantasize, to hope, to dream all day long. So that's why it's on the cover of those books, because the past and the future are not going to make us happy. Staking our happiness on the past and the future is suffering. Our only real happiness and peace is right now.